I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting for March 15, 2021. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the roll.
Belzak,
Here.
Clistic, Gustafson,
Here.
Kenny,
Here.
Shower,
Here.
Sullivan,
Here.
Vaughn,
Here.
6 present, 1 absent.
We have a quorum. Questions and comments and announcements of a general nature. And since we don't have anybody in the audience, we'll move to the approval of the minutes for March 1st, 2021. You have a motion to approve. Alderman Shower, Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? On the roll.
Shower,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
Minutes have been approved. It takes us to receiving of communications. Any aldermen have communications they'd like to share with the council tonight?
I've got one. I did receive a phone call from a resident regarding concern about the amount of traffic that was been entering and exiting Elizabeth Ide School. I talked to the principal, and the issue there is, so people realize what they're seeing, is that they have restricted how many kids can ride the bus. So it forces the parents to have to pick up and drop the kids off. So, and I know the principal indicated he worked with the police chief and stuff and figuring out what the best way approach was. So it's just something, and it's going to continue for the rest of the school year. So just so people try to avoid the area during those times is probably the best thing to do.
I thought that when they designed that new parking lot, that new way in, and they would avoid traffic on Manning Road there.
No, it's not. I mean, there's just the volume is just so heavy.
Why did they restrict,
That it's backing up.
Why did they restrict children riding the bus
For the COVID.
for COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Parents just aren't comfortable too. I mean, like, it's by
It's-
choice too. It's not that they're like.
Well,
not-
they are being forced.
Oh, they are? Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they are restricted to the number of kids that can be physically on a
I was
bus.
going to say that was not an issue before, though.
No.
Prior to COVID. So hopefully it alleviates itself sometime in the future.
Yep. But it'll be next school year until it gets corrected.
Anything else? Anyone else? Mary?
Thank you. I did receive an email, and then I followed up with a conversation with Paul Swanson. He is the architect developer from Equity Trust Company. They are the organization developing the proposed development in Ward 5 at 2305 Sokol Court, the Darien Heights residence. So we did touch base. He did share several documents with me regarding his upcoming Planning and Zoning Committee meeting on April the 8th, I think it is, or April the 7th. The 7th, Wednesday the 7th. So he has met with the 2 different homeowners associations over in that area in preparation for his upcoming meeting. We had a great conversation, and I have not received any communications from residents regarding that, follow-up with that. Also, after the last meeting, I did receive at least 4 emails regarding the proposed zoning changes to the Steak and Shake property. All of them resoundingly saying, please do not change the zoning at the Steak and Shake property.
Anything else, Mary?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Takes us to our mayor's report. As you know, we had a large power outage on March 10th in the Darien area, and I asked Bill Halliburton for a report on that. We had a lot of residents very upset with the outage. Some of them were people who had had previous outages prior to the trees being trimmed. So I'd like to read that report. On March 10th, the ComEd territory experienced some strong weather activity in our south region, which includes Darien. We saw sustained winds of up to 35 miles an hour with gusts of up to 48 miles per hour. At approximately 9:27 p.m. on March 10th, high winds knocked down a tree in the vicinity of Manning Road between Fairview Avenue and Queens Court, which came into contact with ComEd's overhead infrastructure. 3 double circuit poles and all equipment associated with them were brought down, including wires, creating extensive damage to our equipment. This also precipitated a feeder lockout affecting W809 and W804, created an initial outage for approximately 35 customers in Darien and the surrounding area. Due to our investments in the system, our distributed automation equipment brought back many of those customers within minutes. However, due to the severity of the conditions on site, approximately 1,445 customers in Darien experienced sustained outage of varying durations. Crews responded immediately, began damage assessments, and worked to get necessary materials and resources out to the site, including 2 generators to assist with customer restoration. All but 11 customers were restored by 9:40 on 3/11/21. Unfortunately, there was no way to restore the remaining 11 customers prior to making necessary repairs. Crews worked around the clock to rebuild and replace all equipment that was extensively damaged. The final 11 customers were restored at 8:25 p.m. on 3/11/21. Below is a log of the customer restoration numbers and appropriate times. I have that. I could show that to the council. He also provided pictures, and I don't think these pictures show up real well on TV, but I could pass these around. But the damage was extensive, and if any of you were in the area, there was a bright flash, almost like an explosion took place. And those of us who lost our electricity, we were out for, I believe, from 9:30 to about 11 o'clock. Some maybe a little bit after 11. A lot of concern with regard to Commonwealth Edison. This was, as I communicated back and forth to Mary that night, this was not a situation where Commonwealth Edison's failure to do something resulted in damage. Now, Commonwealth Edison did come out and they did trim those trees on Manning Road so that this does not happen again. There were some people that were very upset in my subdivision who felt that we should even entertain the possibility of a lawsuit against Commonwealth Edison. And I'd like to remind people that the last time we filed a lawsuit against Commonwealth Edison, we had a substation fire where we had 5 days without electricity in a lot of Darien. So there was a lot more reason why we filed that lawsuit at that time. And while I understand and empathize with people, when somebody's power goes out, you're upset. And when your power goes out from time to time because you think Commonwealth Edison is not doing something that they should be doing, you're even more upset. And I understand that, and I empathize with it, but there's no need for a lawsuit against Commonwealth Edison. I think Mary's established a good working relationship with them. While Dan and I have had some issues with them with regard to our new Dunkin' Donuts and Padrinos, Commonwealth Edison spent a lot of money and a lot of time in the city. Ted, you remember that repairing underground wires, doing all kinds of safety measures on current equipment. And what I'd like to do is have Phil Halliburton come back in and give us an update with regard to all the changes and updates that have taken place in the last year and all the updates that will be taking place in the next year, so that the public does have an opportunity to see that Commonwealth Edison hasn't walked away from us. They are making changes. And unfortunately, not all those changes are unfortunately, some of those changes are not going to change things from happening when people's power goes out. Ted.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, Joe, one of the reasons I think we got the lawsuit is not only because of the fire with the substation, but also the responsiveness from ComEd was almost non-existent.
Right.
And once we did the lawsuit, ever since then, we've had very good response. So
right.
I think that was the other issue that went with it.
But at the same time, I understand where a lot of the residents are, and I don't mean to minimize their feelings. I mean, my power went out. We sat there, we had candles, we talked, and at 11 o'clock at night, the power went back on again. But some of the people in my ward, in my area, their power has gone out several times based on the trees. And fortunately, a lot of the trees that were in question were already trimmed. So if you want to add something, Mary,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I didn't bring it up in receiving a communications because I knew Mayor Joe was going to be talking about the communication we received from ComEd today. And yes, I have, good news, bad news. I've made some very nice friendships with folks that I did not know prior because of the ComEd situation. And we have great communications going back and forth. So my power only flickered, but I started hearing from folks right away, the folks that I've worked with prior on the ComEd issues, and they reached out to me right away, either by text or by email, letting me know that the power had gone out. Right away, I got on the horn with Mayor and with Lisa Clem and reached out to Phil with ComEd, and we had ongoing communications all night. But clearly, this was not related to prior issues. This was, a weather issue, an extreme issue with the the flash, and it was also a much greater outage. Usually we're looking at about 80-ish so people who experienced, frequent outages, whereas this was much more widespread. So, but they have once again brought up the desire to make sure that, everything's been done and the trimming has been done, and we're very grateful that that got done sooner versus later. But just, I'll be talking with Phil and with the city staff just to make sure that there's nothing more that needs to be addressed in terms of this, core group of people that, continually loses power.
Well, I think getting Phil out here to make a presentation
Mhm.
would be great because people have an opportunity then to hear him. And I think it's very appropriate that he answer some of those questions as to why these outages are still taking place.
And I was encouraged when, we were doing about the trimming and all that came about in the late fall, that not only did Phil connect with us, but he had his entire reliability team who are, the feet on the ground, the people that are actually doing the work, working with the teams. And, that I found very encouraging as far as a customer service response. And I'm thankful for that.
In addition to the outage, I wanted to give a vaccine report. What a lot of you don't know is I get a lot of phone calls and even emails during the course of the week from residents, specifically senior citizens, regarding when they're going to get their vaccination. In an effort to alleviate some of the anxiety expressed by residents, specifically our residents 65 and older, regarding their scheduled COVID vaccination, I'd like to provide the latest update from the DuPage County Health Department. Whilst the supply of vaccine is still an issue, DuPage County received an allocation of 17,400 doses of vaccine this week and will receive over 16,000 doses next week. Unfortunately, for the week of March 29th, the county was told they would only be receiving a little over 5,000 doses. I'd like to make clear that these figures all represent vaccine designated for first doses. So a lot of people say, well, what do you mean 17,000? That's 17,000 doses that are designated just to be first doses. People who have had their first dose, that second dose is already stored. It's already there. In addition to these numbers, local pharmacies, both chain and private, are receiving an undetermined number of doses from IDPH from the state of Illinois. So DuPage County can tell me on Monday mornings they've got 17,400 doses. But they can't tell me how many doses Walgreens, Jewel Osco, Mariano's, or CVS, or any of these other locations have, because those come directly from the state of Illinois. DuPage County represents 8% of the population of the state of Illinois, and DuPage County has been getting 1% of the vaccine that comes into the state of Illinois. So we are working as leaders of our communities to talk to our state legislators, and I had a meeting with the governor's office on Friday, and we basically talked about increasing the number of doses that come to Darien. Now, I will say that of those 65 and older who are currently eligible, over 49,000 or 32% have been fully vaccinated. About 170,000 senior citizens, 65 and older in DuPage County. And I realize that providing you figures such as these probably does little to alleviate your anxiety. I receive emails and phone calls nearly every day from residents who want to know what we are doing, and they don't want to know what we're doing. They also say, what are you doing to meet the needs of our residents? And they often mention that they heard of a program in a neighboring community, in most cases, a community located in Cook County, where a program has been set up for residents. I respond to these statements by letting residents know that many, if not all of those programs, are temporary programs. They are set up for several days to meet the needs of a small group of eligible residents. In fact, in Darien, we took advantage of 2 such programs, one organized by Hinsdale District 86 and one organized by Downers Grove Township District 99. Each of these programs served several thousand local residents, but clearly did not meet the needs of all of our residents. I need to reassure our residents that I hear what you're saying, and we will do everything we can to accommodate our residents who are still waiting to get their shot. As new information comes in, we'll put that information out immediately to our residents. I am currently working on a program to get vaccines to our homebound population. I'm now getting phone calls from people who say they're homebound. They can't get out to get their shots. Even if they have an appointment, they can't get out to get their shots. And you guys know Diane Novarini upstairs. Diane and Dorothy are creating a list of people calling and saying, I'm homebound, I can't get out to get my shot. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with an agency that will actually we're looking to work with the Darien, Woodridge, and the Tri-State Fire Departments to have their EMS people go into those homes and administer shots. And what you have to remember, that's a very small population, and a vial or a dose, a container of vaccine for Moderna contains 8 shots, and one of Pfizer contains 5 shots. And if you go to one person's house and you only have one person, you're opening up something and you're wasting 4 shots. So we want to be able to vaccinate people, a number of them all at one time, so we're not wasting doses. So we're working on that. And as I said here, we're going to get that information out to those residents. And that's really one of my major concerns right now. Now I'm starting to get more calls from those people who can't get out of their house. So it's my hope that in April, with Johnson & Johnson coming into the state, we'll see a greater influx of vaccine coming into the county and into Darien. But again, I know I'll get phone calls tomorrow. I know I'll get emails tomorrow, and that's fine. After I talk to a lot of these people, they say thank you. They're very grateful. They had an opportunity to talk to me about it. But they're still anxious, and they're still upset. And I'm talking to people that are 80, 85 years old, person with one kidney, person with this, person with that. And your heart goes out to these people because you know that they're not getting that vaccine, and they can't get through to one of these pharmacies to get that vaccine. So I want the residents of Darien to know the city of Darien will do everything it can to alleviate this issue and alleviate their anxiety. And that's why I wanted to give this report tonight, because my heart goes out to these people. I mean, I've had my 2 shots. I'm fine. I just want everybody to be able to have what I had an opportunity to have. And I'll end that at this point. One last thing. Last week, Sylvia MacGyver, who's on our 9/11 committee, and April Padalecki, who co-chairs this committee with me, we met with Jessica Foster, who's the incoming principal of Lakeview Junior High, Jake Little, who's at Lakeview Junior High, Kathy Lincioni, who's the Social Studies Department Chair from Hinsdale South High School, and Carolyn Flores, who is the Social Studies teacher in District 99. And we met to work on the educational component of our 9/11 celebration in September. And I've got to tell you, I am extremely impressed by our teachers. And now I have put out the word to Bob Langman and to Mark Ross constantly that I need a representative from 63, from 61, and I still don't have a representative from those schools. So we're forging ahead with the people that we do have. But you should be very proud of your educators, because Kathy Lincioni is extremely impressive. And we're going to involve a lot of student work groups in this activity, and we're going to be putting out more and more information as time goes by. So I just wanted to mention that. With that, I conclude my mayor's report. I know I took a little bit longer, but I had several important things I wanted to get out to people. So with that, we'll go to city clerk's report. Joanne?
No report this evening. Thank you.
And Dan, I don't know if you want to give, we have Brian Vanna too here. Any city administrators report? I don't think so.
No report, Mayor.
Department head questions? Anything for Chief Thomas? Chief, I feel like we left you in the corner today. Anything for Chief Thomas?
He's on the internet.
Do you have any updates on that situation, Greg?
Yeah.
No, nothing that's been, hasn't already been put out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're referring to the kidnapping?
Yeah.
There's nothing more to put out. The had a kidnapping on Monday the 8th. It was reported to us on Thursday. We put out a tweet and some other information. The person was taken to Summit and then to Stickney, and those agencies are the agencies that are handling the whole thing beginning to end. So we have no other information on it. It's going to be handled by another jurisdiction.
But they know who the individual is. Is that correct?
No, they have an individual, and the individual is in custody. Thank you.
Greg. Any questions for Mr. Gronbeck?
Mike's back,
Yeah.
raising his hand back there.
Michael?
Just one quick one, Dan. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Dunkin' Donuts when that's going to open. I know we keep saying later. Any update on that?
The best update I have right now is end of the month, and believe it or not, Padrino's will probably open before Dunkin' Donuts. So things have been changing, and they still have some additional items to complete, such as the canopies, awnings. The awnings are supposed to be coming now towards the end of the month. There's been some, I'll call it, controversy between the two suppliers, because Dunkin' Donuts has their colors, and long story short, there's a couple vendors involved, and there's a little bit of a dispute going on. So that was recently identified last week. And we're hoping that by Wednesday, we should have the site, the landscaping feature, operational with the lights and the water, so on and so forth.
Thank you.
Anything else for Dan?
Eric had a question.
Eric?
Yeah, Dan, I stopped by the new Public Works facility over in Westmont the other day. Very nice facility. I could get into the building, but I can only get so far. And I sent off an email to the administrator there about getting a tour of the facility.
Great.
I think that'd be something that I think it'd be good for all the aldermen to take a look at and go through that building, and then take a look at what we're dealing with, so everybody put it in perspective of where we're at with this situation, because it is an extremely impressive building.
The Municipal Services Committee can hold a meeting. We'll call it a special meeting to where we have the opportunity either to meet there,
Yeah.
and we can convene at the Public Works Station upon the walkthrough, and then adjourn as we leave. So if there's an interest, we could also, reach out to my peers over there and see if there's an opportunity for that, or if any other elected officials want to go, we'll put it all under the Municipal Services site visits. So if there's an interest from everyone, I'll send something out once we do get some further confirmation.
Yeah, I think it's definitely warrants a look-see.
Thanks, Eric. Takes us to our treasurer's report. Michael, warrant 2021-22.
Thanks, Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 2021-22 in the amount of $449,335.58 from listed funds. Payroll for the period ended March 11th in the amount of $266,476.40. To total to be approved, $715,811.98.
Motion to approve. Alderman Vaughn, seconded by Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? In the roll?
Vaughn,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
Warrant's been approved. Takes us to the monthly report. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. The monthly report for the 10 months ended February 28th reflects general fund year-to-date revenue of $14,238,541, expenses of $9,952,652, current balance of $5,251,425, water fund year-to-date revenue $6,810,983, expenses of $5,953,210, current balance $4,317,298, motor fuel tax fund year-to-date revenue $1,148,624, expenses of $491,529, current balance of $1,216,066, water depreciation fund year-to-date revenue $6,841, expenses of $15,604, current balance of $2,430,231, and capital improvement fund year-to-date revenue $258,167, expenses of $567,736, current balance of $6,332,958.
Any questions for the treasurer on the monthly report? Thank you, Michael. Takes us to standing committee reports. Do we have any standing committee reports Alderman would like to report on? Alderman Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The police committee meeting that was scheduled for this evening was canceled due to lack of agenda items. Our next meeting will be on Monday, April 19th, 2021, 6 p.m. across the street in the police training room, pending agenda items.
Thank you. Alderman Belzak?
Yes, the next Municipal Services Committee meeting is scheduled for a week from today, March 22nd at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you. Mary?
The next Admin Finance Committee is scheduled on Monday, April 5th at 6 p.m. up in the conference room prior to the City Council meeting. That's pending items. And then the next Economic Development Committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 8th at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you, Mary. That takes us to questions and comments, agenda related. There being no one in the audience, it moves us to old business. We have none. Moves us to consent agenda. We have nothing there. Takes us to new business. We have one item. Item A, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution approving the 2021 City of Darien zoning map. Motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Shower. Any questions? On the roll?
Belzak,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
The item has been approved. Questions and comments, announcements of a general nature. Do any of the aldermen have anything to share with the council? If none, motion to adjourn. Alderman Kennedy, second by Alderman Vaughn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned, folks. Thank you very much.